Welcome to the Financial Beast Podcast. Of course, I am your best financial friend forever, Mr. Eric Miller. And today we did another Between Two Erics, which is where I take one of my advisors and we go over a financial topic. Today was awesome because it's one that, is a universal question most people have. How much do I need to get ahead? And what does that mean? What does getting ahead actually mean? There's a lot of people that you've seen out there that said, oh, if you're not making $1 million a year, then you're not going to be able to get ahead. Or if you're not making $500,000 a year, you're not going to get ahead. So we break down, actually, is this a problem of a number or how you are allocating your money that allows you to get ahead? And the answer is probably a little bit of both. But we really break down how much you need to get ahead, the component parts of where your money should be going to allow you to not only live a very comfortable lifestyle, but to make sure that you're planning for your future. And I thought it was great. And I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. As always, please give us some indication that you're alive out there. Please like, share, subscribe, leave some comments on the podcast so that we know that we're making an impact on you. And as always, if you guys need any kind of financial assistance, please see at the bottom right there, go to econologics.com, econologics.com. There you can sign up for an intro call. We have all kinds of downloads and things that you can, useful information that you can use to make your financial life a lot better than what it is. So please don't wait, run, go to econologics.com, make sure that you connect with us so that we can help you plan for your financial future. I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Take care. Okay, we're back. All right. So I think we agreed on a topic today was going to be how to get ahead.
How to get ahead in life.
How to get ahead in life.
Financially.
Yep. So I think, and when we first started it, of course, you balked because you didn't want to do it because you're tired of influencers on social media telling you that if you don't make $1 million a year, that you're a bum.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. I think there's just a lot of, and maybe I spend too much time on TikTok. That's also a possibility, but there's just
probably a very big possibility.
Garbage out there about like, if you don't make, six figures multiple times over, you're a bum. You're not, it's not true. A lot of people don't make six figures. I mean, I was looking at this before the call. The average household, not individual, household income in the U.S. Take a guess. A guess as of 2022.
75,000.
Oh my God, you were actually dead on. Did you look that up?
Dude, I did a chart on this. Remember the 7 zones of financial freedom chart? Yeah. So you look at the amount of people that make less than households that make less than 75,000 and less is, what was it? It was like 80%.
That make 80.
Yeah, that's 75,000 or less.
75,000 and less is 52% of households.
Okay.
So 1 in every 2 households that you've ever driven by in your life makes less than 75,000. That is insane.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this system that we're living under right now was not designed for people to succeed financially, and the stats prove it. Like, this is how much people are making right now.
Yeah,
and it's a big problem. It is a big problem. So I get it when people say, look, you have to make more money if you want to get ahead.
Yeah. The
people that are living on that $75,000 or less, dude, I am going to tell you the vast majority of them are not getting ahead.
No, I 100% agree.
Okay. So there is a number out there that I think allows you to get ahead, but I think it's the wrong way to approach it is looking at just a number.
Yeah. exactly.
Right?
The number is not, I mean, the number is important, right? More money gives you more opportunities.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But how you use that money is equally as important.
That's probably even more important because
more important.
But it's the, we'll go back to it. It doesn't matter how much money you make. We've seen plenty of people that made $1 million, $2 million a year of personal income, and blow every cent of it.
Oh yeah,
blow every cent of it, or are not any better ahead than someone making maybe $200,000 or $300,000 a year.
Yep.
Okay. Now I have my personal opinion on how much you should be making if you really want to get ahead. And this is going to apply for healthcare owners as well, just because that's who we cater to. But I think it's a lot more important to kind of look at the formula and figure out where the money's going to go to allow you to get ahead.
Yep.
Okay. And let's even define what getting ahead means. What does that mean to you?
To me, getting ahead would simply mean I have enough income where I can live comfortably, do what I want socially within, being reasonable, and be able to save enough for the future.
Yep.
And after doing all of that, still having money left over.
Yeah.
It's just not being stressed about money.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then really the only thing that's going to determine, now you can do that amount. Like you can come up with a number for you.
Oh yeah. I know my number.
But the variable on that is how fast do you want to get ahead? Okay. Yep. Which is the time variable. Okay. Now, if you're okay with 30 years or 25 years or whatever that time frame is, okay, then that's going to be the one thing that would change in the formula that would allow you or necessitate you to have to increase the amount of income that you make. Right? If you want to do it in a shorter time frame.
Oh yeah. I mean, having time on your side with finances is the most important ingredient.
Yeah.
Compounding.
So I think we looked at it. So the formula basically is this, how much do you need to get ahead? We're not looking so much in terms of like how much you need saved, how much you need to invest. We've done other shows on like what that target would be. This is going to be more towards like how much income you need to be making and where that money's going to go.
Yep.
Okay. So I think there's 3 categories that if you're to get ahead, that you're going to need to look at. Number 1, and you said it, what is your lifestyle cost?
Yep.
Okay. And look, man, you got to include everything in what constitutes your lifestyle, which includes your taxes, which includes your the size of your home that you want to live in, which includes, the fact that you have kids and all the extra expenses that they may have. It includes all the debt, the quality of your lifestyle, including
it's everything from groceries to debt to mortgage.
Yeah, including your debt service and all that. And I'd say most people wildly underestimate how much that actually is. When they factor in everything, they're like, well, I need $10,000 a month. And I'm like, dude, no. Your lifestyle probably really costs you closer to $15,000 a month if you really added everything in. Okay. But that being said, that's one category, right?
Yep.
That's just one category that would be part of that formula. Unfortunately, most people only make what they need to cover their basic lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. And
most people do.
No matter how much they make, will dump it all into lifestyle.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether they make 75,000 or 150,000. Once they move up, they just start spending more.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah,
lifestyle creep, right?
Yeah, it's the trap that people get into. They just want a higher quality of dumb shit.
Yeah.
It's really it. So that's one category is your lifestyle. And I really don't care what you want your lifestyle to be. If you want to be some highfalutin person that's, living on a $50,000 a month lifestyle, go knock yourself out.
Yeah.
I mean, go do it. It's fine with me. I don't care. But you can't ignore the other categories if you want to get ahead.
Yeah.
So the other category would be how much of that of your income is going to go towards savings and investments. Mostly savings to invest. Okay. And that is to me the kind of the variable factor that most people don't really think too much about. And this is going to be, I think, the biggest determining factor how much money you're actually going to need. Because how much do you want to put away of your income every single month?
Yep.
So, it's different for everybody. But there is a mathematical equation that if I want to have $120,000 of quote unquote passive income in, 15 years, there is a financial reality of how much you need to save and invest to be able to hit that number. Right?
Yeah.
So that would be part of the equation. How much money is going concentrated towards savings and investments? Okay. Now, where the money goes and the investment portfolio and all that, it's kind of, I don't want to call it secondary because it is important. The rates of return on that money are going to be important.
Yeah, it's not what we're not here to discuss different portfolios. Today.
Yeah. It's not whether it should go in real estate or dividends or whatever it would be. Okay,
it just needs to be invested for sake of today's conversation.
Correct, needs to be invested. That's for sure. And then the last category would just be like I would just say discretionary. Hey, I want to. I don't know. Like I want to spend $5,000 on a blank, or I want to spend $10,000 on a blank, or an emergency comes up and I need some. I need something that would prevent me from having to dip in to my savings and investment portfolio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about right there. So those are the three component parts of what would dictate how much you need to get ahead. Because I'll dare say that if you're doing all three of those things, you're going to get ahead.
Agree?
You're going to get ahead. Simple as that. And if you're missing one of those buckets, you're not going to get ahead because there's always going to be a financial emergency at some point.
And I see that a lot. I guess with peers or people of my age, I see a lot of people who make enough to cover their lifestyle.
Yep.
Who have an emergency fund, but they're not saving past that. You can't do, what I'm getting at is you can't do two of the three.
No.
Right?
No.
This isn't all or nothing.
No. And I dare say it would be just as dangerous to take all of your money and live on like $20,000 a year in, as a lifestyle. I mean, I've seen people do that too.
Are you talking about the FIRE people?
What's the
financial independence, retire early? Basically,
what is that?
It's this whole movement on the internet of, get a job making $80,000 a year. You live like a bum in a van down by the river. You save 60 of it and you let it compound and you retire by like 37 and you live off like $20,000, $25,000 a year.
Yeah. I mean, that's my point right there. It's like, there are times where you do have to sacrifice, but do you really want to sacrifice for freaking 10, 15 years?
No, and do you want to sacrifice to live like that? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Because that affects your health. That affects, if you're skimping like that, I mean, you're not going to live in that has all kinds of problems.
Yeah, they're skimping, but that's skimping to a dangerous extreme.
Yeah.
You can skimp and live on $50,000 or $60,000 a year and probably be okay if you don't have debt and, but you can't do it on 20. It's just not feasible.
especially not if you have kids. There's no way.
Oh, God, no.
Or debts to pay off or anything like that.
Well, yeah, these people don't have debts. I mean, for the system to work, you basically have to be a single dude or a single lady. That's the only way it works. It doesn't work for families and kids and stuff like that.
Exactly. So to me, that's just another method to basically say that you should not have a family or start a family.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what good's that going to do when there's no population in the next generation?
When the whole world dies out.
I'm telling you right now, you've been on Reddit too much. You know what's going to happen. I mean, Elon Musk even says it. Elon Musk says it. It's true. It's true.
Totally.
But so say it again. It's the FIRE method: financially independent, retire early.
Yep.
Okay. And basically what it is, so I can get behind a portion of it. See, this is where the extremes come into play. You got one extreme of people that are just like, what is it? It's not FOMO. What's the other one?
YOLO.
YOLO. Right?
You only live once.
So you got the you only live once. So it's just like spend everything that you have right now. The system's going to shit. Everything's going to go to crap at some point in time. No one's going to really own anything anyway. And
we're all going to die.
We're all going to die, and we're all going to get taken, or we're just going to get taken care of by Big Brother. That's one extreme. The other extreme is no. When the money that you make, save 80% of it, live like a bum.
Yep.
Right. And I mean, good God, man. Can we please find...
There's a lot of gray area in between, right?
Can we find a happy medium here? Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Can we find a happy medium? So I would say the way I would look at it, and I think we've done this for both business owners and and people that are employees. Okay. How much should you save of your income? All right. So I think obviously if you're a business owner, 10% of your practice revenue or your business revenue would be your
that should be the goal if you're an owner.
Would be your savings component, right? That's pretty simple. 10% of your business revenue. So if you're doing $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in business revenue, just take 10% of that, and that is your savings for you personally. That's enough. That's more than enough.
Yeah, that's more than exactly.
Right? And that will get you to where you want to go, I think, in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Easy? Yeah, easy. So there's no issue on that. And that's simple math. That's simple math. 10% of what your business makes goes into a wealth building plan. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Yep. And you'll get ahead. You will get ahead. Okay. If you are an employee, 20 to 30%, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 20, 25%. I think it depends on how much you make too. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, most employees, in my experience as an employee, most of them just save enough to get the company match. I'm going to save 3% in my 401k. The company will match me 3%, and that's never going to be enough.
That's anywhere. Well, it'll take you 40 years to accumulate enough
if you're lucky. Yeah,
in your retirement plans, and I don't even think that would be the case. So there does need to be an acceleration of this process. And also, even as an employee, there are things, especially if depending on what you do. I mean, you can say, okay, well, can I produce a little bit more so I can accelerate this process so that I can increase the amount that I'm putting towards savings and investments?
Yep.
The answer is yes. I mean, almost every business is going to have some component of, look, there is some ability for you to make more money. Okay. Yeah. Is it going to be as much as an owner does? No. But is it going to be substantial enough that it would allow you to either decrease your debt faster, which would allow you to then use that money that you're putting towards debt to increase savings? Or is it going to allow you to put more money away in, whatever vehicles that you want? The answer is yes. Answer is yes. So, when someone says, how much money do you need to get ahead? I mean, it really is going to depend upon, those three factors. Like for you right now, you don't have, it's just you and your wife.
Yep.
Okay. And, I don't want to spill how much you make or anything like that, but you're making enough money to pay for your lifestyle. You're aggressively saving money, and then you have discretionary money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's allowing you to get ahead. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's just, a lot of it's personal choice.
It is. I could easily, the house that I bought, right? I was approved by the mortgage company for double what I actually bought.
Mm-hmm.
My car, yeah, it's a Mercedes, but
yep.
I bought it used when it was 3 years old and had, 35,000 miles on it. I bought it greatly depreciated.
Like, you know what? I completely forgot what kind of car you drove. Right? The moment that I saw it the first time, after that, I'm like, I don't even know what kind of car he drives at this point in time.
But the point is I make enough. I could have gone to the dealer and got a brand new Mercedes off the lot.
Yeah, you could have.
Would have been stupid, you know? Stupid. So there is a balance of having nice things and doing it in a smart way.
Yeah. And look, if you're just like gung ho, I want to be, financially free in 5 years and I want to be worth $20 million and all that stuff, then okay, great. You can do that. Obviously the necessity level would need to be there and the production would need to be there to be able to match what you're going to need.
Yep.
But like, I'm not going to frown on anybody if you're making. Now, I do think the reality is, man, it would be very difficult to get ahead on $75,000 a year.
I agree.
Very difficult. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's it's very difficult if you're a family to get ahead on $100,000 a year.
Yeah. A family of 4, I'm going to say you probably, to be comfortable and be able to save, and I don't even know if you'd be able to save 20% necessarily, but to be able to be comfortable, middle class, hit all those things to some degree, probably $150 or more.
Yeah, I was going to say probably closer to $200,000 a year if you want to get ahead, right?
Yeah,
and you don't want it to take a lifetime, right?
Yeah, if you want to get ahead before age 70,
yes.
If you want to be retired at 55,
yeah. So if you want, this is where it comes down to the people that the people that you're talking about, the people that are like, oh, you got to make $1 million, blah blah blah. I realistically think that if you want to get ahead, if you want to be financially independent, maybe before you're 60 years old, then you do have to start looking at I'm making $350,000, $400,000, $450,000 a year. You know what I mean? I think that's probably the number that you're going to need if you want to accelerate this process. And that's where I think the conversation needs to be, not just on the flat dollar amount that you're going to need. Okay, because and again, how much is enough to be financially safe, so to speak, in this world right now? It's not $1 million anymore. It's really not even 2 million. I think that's probably a low number in retirement when you factor everything in the.
Oh yeah, long-term care costs,
all that stuff. So it would be for even looking at 5 million in total assets right now. Sounds great. I think a lot of people would be like, hell, if I had 5 million total assets that was generating me $250,000 a year, I'm good. I'm good. Which, okay.
You probably are.
Yeah. And you probably are. And that's going to allow you to, I think, live you wouldn't be stressed over money that much.
No. And at that amount too, even if there are, say, like uncovered long-term care costs and you do eat into principal, you're at the end of life. You don't need to die with 5 million.
Well, maybe not.
So it's pretty hard to mess that up.
It would be, and I guess it would be the quality of where the investments were and those kinds of things. But again, I think for the purpose of what we're talking about here, I would not look at how much money, well, what the actual number is, but what those three buckets are, those three categories, and what is that for you, you know? And then the reality being that things are going to go up, lifestyle costs are going to go up. So, you're going to have to make enough to be able to cover those things if you want to live in a fairly safe neighborhood, if you want to have, fairly nice things. And people should want to have fairly nice things.
Yeah.
I mean, you should want to have a nice car. You should want to have nice clothes. You should want to take nice vacations. You should want to do all those things.
Yep.
And the economic reality is you're not going to do that on $75,000 a year or $100,000 a year. But you also don't have to have this absurd, if I don't make $1 million a year, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Thrown at you, which I think is kind of stupid.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But
just a little bit, considering that not even 0.5% of Americans make $1 million a year. That would mean everybody's a failure.
I'm sure you want to make $1 million a year. I do.
Yeah. I would love to.
And you can plan that out over, based upon your vehicle that you're in and those kinds of things. But
I would love to, but I don't need to.
But it doesn't mean that you can't get ahead on $250,000 a year, or $200,000 a year, or $300,000 a year.
If you're not getting ahead on that, in my experience, if you're not able to get ahead on $200,000-$300,000 a year, you're not going to get ahead on $500,000-$600,000 a year, because the issue isn't the money. The issue is,
how you're allocating
use of the money.
Yeah, it is the use of the money. That's a good way to put it. Okay. That's a good way to end that.
All right.
Good talk. We will see you guys on the next podcast.